Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another video. Big up your damn selves in the building. Make sure you smash up the likes every single damn time and subscribe if you are new. Breaking news, Broja to Fulham on a loan deal for £750,000. That's deal or no deal money. And of course, there is an opportunity to rise to over 4 million if he does not play, I believe, over 50% of the games for Fulham. According to Nizar Kinsella, this is a straight loan, a dry loan, no obligation at the end of this. After recovering from Badman, Badiashile playing like a waste man, lukewarm, Palmer, Enzo flying away from Caicedo in build-up once again and not being aligned. And just in general, having to stomach the Jason Derulo, Aston Villa second choice striker links this January window has not been great. And the last couple of days have been worse. This deal for me, I'm going to look at it from two sides, right? In terms of a market value perspective, in terms of a build the player up to try and sell him on in the summer for pure profit, he's got a better chance of improving his market value at Fulham and going there for the rest of the season, hopefully playing games, racking up minutes, or there'll be a small financial consequence and potentially scoring some goals in a less chaotic, less stressful environment. So that's one side of it. The other side of it is that we now have one less striker on the books in a position that we're not particularly blessed with options. Now, I personally was already saying that we shouldn't let him go if we're not going to bring anyone in, because it leaves us now with a Jackson or bust situation outside of Washington, who never sees any minutes regardless, because I don't think Pochettino trusts him at 18 years old, Brazilian. We spoke about it in a watch along, in a live. The amount of minutes he's accumulated in Serie A last season for Brazil in the top flight is like 420 minutes. That's like just about 5 games. Angelo, in comparison, has the season before last accumulated over 1,000 minutes. So there's a reason as to why the manager might not trust him. He hasn't played many minutes of first team football, even in his own country before arriving here. He's not this wonder kid superstar in his own country before he gets here, who's been playing loads of games at a young age and racking in loads of goals. So that's potentially why Washington going up many levels to Premier League, physical situation for an 18-year-old to come up against these centre-backs is not getting played, is not getting used. It's probably quite clear in training that he's not ready. But now he's going to have to play, because if he doesn't get opportunities with only a Jackson ahead of him, then that means someone's moving out of position, whether that be a Cole Palmer, false nine. We don't want to see it, but we're going to probably see more of it now. In Cuckoo, we're counting on him to stay fit. He could now be a more of an emergency striker option if Jackson is not available. We saw it in pre-season quite a lot. He played as the striker, interchanging with Jackson, one half, 45 minutes each. That's all we've got, in Cuckoo. Very, risky to rely on fitness-wise. And Washington doesn't play. So basically, if Jackson gets injured, the season really could be pretty much done and dusted in this position. So it's a massive risk. It's a massive risk. It's a very big risk for a very low fee and a very low financial gain. In my opinion, I don't think it's worth the risk. Even though Broja's not playing well, even though he's not taking advantage of his opportunity, even though he's not been making his mark and making his stamp on this side, at least it gives an option to have an outlet in certain games. It's better than having, in my opinion, nobody, which is what the current situation seems to be. So Washington probably needed a loan, right? He needed to go and get some game time, some experience in a league. I'm not even going to say top 5 league, because we don't know his level, but he needed to go and get that opportunity. He's not going to get it. He's going to have to stay here. So we're bare. We're bare to the bones in this position. It's not looking good. We're very light. We're stripped. And yeah, there's nothing teasing about it, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? It is peak out here in these streets. So let's see what happens. Broja goes to Fulham. Very little cash. It's very funny that we constantly kept briefing that we're going to get the 50 million because Hairline went for that much money. Never going to happen. Silly, stupid asking price. No one was going to pay that. We knock it down to 35. This is where, if Broja is at the top of his game, if he is scoring goals, playing games, delivering on the promise before the injury, potentially the 35 million mark is as high as it gets, but that's something that you can ask for and then negotiate down from. Never going to happen in this current moment for the player. Now we're knocking it down, and then the loan fee comes out. We're looking for 5 million. We're looking for obligation only because we need a fee in the summer. Fulham and Wolves are telling us, naughty, naughty, you're teasing nobody. We are not doing that. We are not paying your made up fees. You will take what you're given, sweet child. And bang, next thing you know, there's your plate. Do you know what I'm saying? There's your plate. Your leftovers after all the adults have eaten on the grown-up table. There's your plate. There's your leftovers, bruv. And there's your 50K. You can get 4 million in total if we don't play him. I don't think that's going to deter them. They're going to play him if he's good enough. If he doesn't prove to do anything for them, they won't play him, and they'll pay that little bit of money. But for us, like I said, it just weakens us because it's a one less option. So not a good window when you lose a Matson. When you lose a Broja, even and not replace him, more importantly, I don't care about really Broja going, but it's more about not replacing him with a striker, not bringing in a player in a position we're weak in. You don't get to sell a Chalobah because obviously he's been injured. You don't bring anyone in for that matter. What have we really achieved in this window? Sweet fuck all. Pretty much nothing. So yeah, peak, long day. What do we do now? We hold on tight for dear life, pray that we don't get injuries, pray that Carney Chukwuemeka can play and can stay fit. So that allows Nkuku to go into that 10, because we don't want a situation where Carney can't stay fit, which means Nkuku needs to drop into the 10, which is his position. And then we don't have that striker option potentially as well. So we need Carney to stay fit. Carney is the glue. Carney is the key. We saw it against Liverpool. He's able to combine. He's able to join. He's able to link things. He can be the link from the pivot to the final third. If we don't have him, Nkuku, more pressure to play in that position, and then there's a ripple effect. Same as there's a ripple effect if Palm has to play false 9. That means Madueke probably gets more minutes on the right. He's unpredictable. It just has a knock-on effect, people. It has a knock-on effect, and we can't afford it. So that's the deal. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below of the deal. We move to All You Can Eat Chelsea tomorrow morning, where we're going to discuss everything in greater detail in terms of the performance yesterday, all of the things that we're annoyed about, from the individual errors, from, you know, the systematic structural issues as well. In particular, the midfield situation. Sometimes in that game, we saw Enzo dropping in, actually bypassing the press and helping us build up. And sometimes we saw him in that stupid left half space, like I mentioned at home to Middlesbrough in the first 10 minutes, which made me so angry. And Caicedo left on his own again in build up to basically take on 4 pressing Liverpool players, and be what come of that. You know what happens next. So yeah, like I said, rough day, bad man Badia Shaw moving like a waste man, Luke Warm Palmer, triathlon Gallagher looking like he was swimming out there, madman Madueke, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Raheem Shillings, as Expressions calls him. Do you know what I'm saying? Patted down at Anfield, taken for everything in his pockets, no money left, no wallet, no keys, no phone, and the rest of them just shambolic. I'm still not over it. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Big up your damn selves. In a bit, people. Peace.